Okay.
Recording in progress.
Oop, hold on, that's me.
Okay. Everybody, looks like Bion or Chris Goodrich, can you give me the thumbs up that you can hear us? Excellent. Thank you. Okay, Happy New Year,
Yeah.
everybody.
Hey.
Let's call the meeting to order. 2026. Holy moly.
Holy moly.
January 12th. And I have Sandy Bodmer Turner,
Here.
Brian Fry,
Here.
Gordon Brewster, Sarah Creighton present, Sue Philbrick, and Chris Olney,
Here.
and Mark Resnick. And Peter Morton is not here tonight.
He's not.
Okay, so
Hey, did you have time?
the first order of business is there any public comment on things that are not on the agenda elsewhere? Okay, seeing none, I'm gonna move on. The first item we have is an approval not required by Manchester Village Properties LLC at 5 Flatley Ave. Do we have a representative from that? Okay, Scott Johnson, hi.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, thanks. Can you explain to the board what you're planning on doing, and I'll try to pull up the plans.
Sure. So I own 5 Flatley Avenue and 7-9 Flatley Avenue. And the two properties share a side lot line. And we are simply asking to move that side lot line. It doesn't create any violations for the structures that are on either property. It doesn't change the frontage, and it doesn't create any violations otherwise. It's simply a shift of the lot line to take some space, about 1,000 total square feet from 7-9 lot, and give it to the 5 Flatley lot.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're basically.
I could try to bring it up if you like, but
Yeah, I can.
Are you basically moving the lot line toward the east where the new development is? Is that what's happening?
correct. There's
Okay.
currently 21 or 22 feet of side yard setback, and we're
Mhm.
simply giving some of that side yard setback to the 5 Flatley property.
Mark, do you have a recommendation?
I recommend the plan be endorsed.
Okay. I'll pull it up here.
Okay.
Yep.
Great. Oop. Mhm. Okay. So
Moving the lot line here, right?
right. So the dotted line is the current lot line. And then the line that you see that's about 10 feet over, or that is 10 feet over, would be the new lot line.
Any other questions or comments from?
I had some, so there's no implications on, this is literally just a 10-foot move and no implications on zoning regarding the two lots?
Correct. They don't, it doesn't create any setback violations. There's no change to frontage. There's already adequate lot. The 6,000 square feet is required. We have like 14,000 square feet on the 7-9. It doesn't create any violations for open space or anything like that. The lot's very spacious, the 7-9 lot that the land's coming from.
But it does have 4 units on it, correct?
It actually only has 2 units on it.
Ah,
So there's there's a total of about 30,000 square feet of land back there. And it's
Mhm.
split into two lots that are each about 14 or 15,000 square feet. And each of those contains 2 units.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So it's not shown, but above, if you were above the lot A1 is another lot that has 2 units on.
Thank you.
Up here.
Yes, yep.
Okay. And this is, so you can see the frontage is here along Flatley Ave. It's a pork chop lot, but that exists already. You see up at the-
Correct. That's the existing condition.
That's the existing frontage. So the frontage does not change.
Correct. There's a small triangle, or it angles off at the very end of the lot change to the point of the existing street. So there's no change of frontage. And all the lots have sufficient frontage for what's built on them.
Okay, any other discussion? I'll take a motion, any other discussion? I'll take a motion to endorse the plan of land for 5 Flatley Avenue and 7-9 Flatley Avenue, prepared for Manchester Village Properties LLC, 18 Sergeant Street, Suite A, Gloucester, Mass. Date of the plan is December 10th, 2025, and the scale is 1 inch equals 20 feet. Do I have a motion?
I'll move it be endorsed.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
I,
Opposed? Okay, thank you, and we have 1 person. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, the next is the approval not required for Manchester Village, for Goodrich Vine Realty Street Realty Trust and Goodrich Vine Street Homestead Realty Trust at 12 Vine Street. Pull that up. Do we have somebody here from that to represent that A&R?
Yeah. Hi, this is Chris Goodrich. I'm the homeowner.
Okay, great, thank you. Let me pull up your plan here. You can. Why don't you go ahead and start telling us what you're
Yeah, sure.
planning?
So we just purchased the property from the estate of Patricia Fenton. Prior to the sale of the property, they had split the lot line, and really what they did is they just split it sort of down the middle. So the back of it went to the left of an existing garage, and the rest of it gave approval not required to what is a new build lot. What we are proposing to do, and again, conforming in all ways, is just move the lot line so that the new build lot has more land and the existing structure has a bit less. The shed is going to come down. The garage is already scheduled to be, well, it will have to come down. That was part of the A&R that they went through when the Fenton estate owned it. And then we are going to renovate the white house that's the existing structure. And hopefully once that's done, build new next door.
Okay. Questions, comments from the?
I just do have to ask, the lot line, it's literally that lot line is being removed, is that correct?
This one here, the dotted one,
Which one? Yeah,
is the existing
Yeah.
between the two.
and it's being
And
removed,
It's being removed and it's being replaced with this solid line.
new lot line and right through the shed that's going.
Am I correct about that? Yeah,
That's correct.
okay. And so the lot, this is District D. Two.
I have what, I'm a little unclear about how to read the lot 1A, 1B, lot 2 square footage. So is it that lot 2 will wind up with 9,750 square feet plus lot 1B of 37?
Yeah,
So
that's
it'll be
right.
like a 13,000 square foot lot and an 8,000 square foot lot?
That's correct. And I think that's because the way the deeds are filed, that's how Gilmore and Gilmore told us it had to be done, but yes, that's correct.
And the area in D is 6,
6.
so we're fine on that. And it doesn't change the frontage.
Nope.
Oh, interesting, this is right next to the Flatley.
Yeah, Flatley's actually right behind, that's right.
Right.
Okay. Mark, do you have a recommendation?
Recommend you endorse the plan.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, let's see, I'll take a motion to endorse the plan as approval not required. The plan of land prepared for Goodrich Vine Street Legacy Realty Trust and Goodrich Vine Street Homestead Realty Trust. Prepared by LaFranc Survey Associates. Plan dated December 18th, 2025, scale 1 inch equals 20 feet. Have a motion.
So moved.
Sue moves and Brian seconds. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? One does. Great. Thank you very much. Thank you for.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Before you move on,
Yeah.
I have pictures for Gordon to sign for the Mullins rule.
Oh, okay,
for the
great.
next item.
Okay.
It needs to be signed before you
Watch the video.
begin the public hearing.
It was the most exciting thing I did all day.
Happy to hear that.
You guys are like stunningly interested in that.
Put your name,
It was only boring because you weren't there, Gordon.
Turn it over to I can still run. Okay.
Looked at.
Issue audio recording, issue for video recording, correct?
Yep, check that.
Or I can have it
And
ready.
B,
Yeah.
Yep.
and signed under the penalty of law. I don't know about that one.
Well.
For those of you wondering what we're doing, Gordon has watched the video of the last meeting
That's
and
good.
is attaching
Perfect.
to that. So, with now,
So I'll take a motion to reopen the public hearing on the request for a special permit under section 4.2 F1 of the zoning bylaw submitted by the town of Manchester for special permit to authorize maintenance dredging at the Manchester entrance and Proctor Cove.
Oh,
Second,
Second,
all in favor?
aye.
and I'm staying.
5, yes, 1 abstention. So before the holidays, we heard a presentation by both, is that how you pronounce it? Both? Regarding the specifics of the proposed dredging. And we had gone through a list of concerns that we thought could be met by specifying conditions. And Mark Resnick was going to prepare a draft, which he did. I don't know if everyone had a chance to look at it. It was in the meeting packet today.
yeah.
So maybe we'll just post that and make sure everyone is in agreement on it. While we do that, Mark, I had made one change in your, let's see, in that paragraph 9. Just change, I made a comment on it. I tried to change it and it wouldn't let me change
Okay.
it. So I made a comment on the side. Put a period after services and then capitalize the however.
Okay.
I don't know if that got incorporated. I had my eyes
Impact on
dilated.
town services, period. However, I must have
Okay,
fixed that.
good now? Okay.
Yes, and Brian had sent a comment in, and that's fixed on the draft as well.
Great.
So I referred to the wrong section.
Oh, great. And then I think on the last page, since Sarah has to abstain, I think it has to be me that signs.
Oh, yes, yep,
That too.
yep, I'll change that.
Did anyone have any other comments after looking at the draft?
It seems to include all the things we were asking for.
I thought so too. Any comment? Well, first of all, any other discussion from the board? Any public comment? Anyone online? I don't see any. And no further discussion from the board. So.
Oh, the comment that I was referring to that I emailed Mark about was the decision citing the correct zoning bylaw section. In the minutes, it was 4.1.1 or something like that, but in the draft, it was a 4.2.1F or something. So that was just for consistency.
If there's no further discussion or comment, I'll take a motion to approve the request for a special permit under section 4.2 F1 of the zoning bylaw submitted by the town of Manchester for a special permit to authorize maintenance dredging at the Manchester Harbor entrance and Proctor Cove. According to the plan prepared by both, dated September 17th, 2025. Is there anything more I should add?
Authorize you to
Sign it.
sign the special permit.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
We've got 5 yes and 1 abstention. Ms. Crane. Anything else, Mark? Oh, right. Thank you. I'll take a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
5 in favor, 1 abstention.
Okay,
Brian,
great.
Brian says thank you.
Appreciate it.
Nate as well.
Okay, great. Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Nate, for coming and Bion. Appreciate that. Great. So now we're back to talking about zoning. We're gonna start with the downtown district zoning, and at the last meeting, we started a little list of things that we wanted to discuss tonight. And I know there was an email from Mr. McKenna about the district boundaries. So I'm just gonna pull up the things that we set to refresh everybody's memory. The things that we said we were gonna talk about tonight. And that doesn't mean we can't talk about other things. But we did put these down at the end of December. The density bonus for affordable, if there's, so that would mean an additional unit or units if you make them affordable. The district boundaries, which might include the property along the tracks at Beach Street or Elm Street. We also had put that out there. Parking requirements, and then Sandy, I put your issue, so I'm not sharing.
It's a nice photo
Oh,
though.
sorry. Sharing the wrong thing. You never know what you're gonna get.
Should have been ready for a palm tree.
Pictures of my vacation.
Can I ask one question? I've got the city of Beverly and city of town of Hamilton and town of Wenham. documents
Yeah.
inside this.
So those are notices that we receive because we are a budding town.
Oh, okay.
So if you, it's correspondence. So the city of Beverly sends us a notice to say that they're doing whatever it is they're doing. And from time to time, they're of interest to the town of Manchester.
Yeah, the Gloucester was.
Yes.
Yeah, for example. That's why we get them.
Okay.
And we do
I was
it.
reading them and go, did I miss something here? Or did we
Yeah.
annex it like they did Greenland?
We took it. Yes.
Manchester's expanded.
Don't tell anybody. Okay, so I'm just gonna run through the list so that we have sort of a picture, and then if we have other things, certainly we can talk about them. This is important. And Jeff Laney from the select board is on too. So Jeff, if you have questions or comments, particularly, I want to talk a little bit about how we present this to the select board, but if you think the select board has comments, please jump in as well. So Sandy also had said addition to the table of uses with first floor residential in Harbors District, to talk about that again. The use of notes and the word lot and throughout zoning in general, the different special permit authorities. That's a little bit different.
That's just speaking to
Yeah.
what I don't clearly understand, and maybe
Yeah, I
you
think-
all do, and
Well,
Mark can just give me a briefing at some point.
why don't we just
But if
start
it's
with that
useful
one?
to
I think
review.
it's historic. And maybe you want to just give us a sense of why certain things have special permit authority from the ZBA and some have this planning board.
Well, I'm not sure about the history here in
Yeah.
Manchester, but in many other communities, the planning board generally reviews slightly bigger projects because it's used, also does subdivisions as well, does site plan review, things that are kind of requiring dimensional variances for dimensional things, special uses that might affect a neighborhood, and it may be more of a neighborhood meeting, like, you know, do we really want that particular use adjacent to or next to our special permits? Here in Manchester, it's a little bit more kind of mixed what happens, but that's typically a lot of times how. And of course, variances to the zoning bylaws, also what the zoning board does as well, so.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit historic.
Mhm.
I don't know, Chris, you've been on longer than I, but things like swimming pools are ZBA
That's right.
and,
I think it is historic.
yeah,
And theoretically, the ZBA would use the same criteria that the planning board would in granting a special permit.
So the
But-
standards are the standards embedded in the bylaw.
yeah. I mean, in a perfect world, we would probably go through and make sure all of those make sense and make some modifications. I think that probably Mark Bobrowski would have flagged anything that was highly unusual, but whether that got carried forward is anybody's guess.
He didn't note anything, so.
Yeah, so you're right, it's may not entirely be evenly applied, but in this case, for downtown, we have reserved the special permit authority for first floor, for a residential and first floor, for the town center for the planning board. So,
So when,
Make it a little more business friendly, so you only have to go to one board. Also by, of course, adjusting setbacks and uses and those types of things.
you would do design review with us as well, so
yeah,
that helps to keep it under one.
Right.
If you have a variance, then you still have to go to the ZBA.
Right, we've tried to limit the number of variances people would have to apply.
but a variance is by definition not in conformance with the bylaw, right?
Right.
So then what's the criteria for granting a variance?
So there are,
Economic hardship
Yeah.
or
there's a variety of, yes, there's
But economic hardship is the state.
is the,
very, yes, kind of limited as well. You know, it varies on how it's applied. let's put it
Yeah.
that way.
okay,
And
and a special permit could go to either the plan, because there were some cases when it said SP.
Yep.
And it can go either way to the zoning board or the planning
Yeah,
board.
depending upon what's in the use table.
Uh-huh,
The use table specifies what goes in. Where's a particular application for a use would go.
okay.
do we have just SP on any of the places in the use table?
I, for some reason, I thought we did.
We should check that because it should say ZBA or planning.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay, great.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so why don't we, let's start with a discussion of, district boundaries, because we have, I know a couple people here who are interested in talking about that. The board have any thoughts about, changes to the district as we have currently defined it?
Where are you, Sarah? I remember.
These are things to discuss. Number 2, district boundaries. This was just sort of our notes.
Yeah,
Oh,
it doesn't
those
have
are
in
not
the folder.
Is it
Wasn't
not in the
in-
folder?
It's in there now.
No. It's
Just visual.
up share. Here we go.
So were there boundary changes that anyone wanted to make?
When we were doing the walk through, there was some discussion, I think, about whether or not Elm Street should remain included in the town center. And as I thought about it, there are two, it seems to me its existing conditions are a little bit more like the Harbor's Edge
Right.
with the parking and so forth. The other, issue is it's already in a CHOD. The other issue is that it's a area that has become, right now it's mixed use. It has residential on the left side with Sawmill Circle and further down, and so and it's not as commercial it's not sort of part of the walking core of the town, which is what I think we are trying to focus on. So I could be actually convinced to leave that in the general district and take it up a little bit later in the general district. I guess by leaving it in the general district, the parking requirements for commercial uses remain.
That's correct.
And as opposed to going to 0 parking. And to me, that might be one of the big reasons to leave it in the general district.
Mhm.
So.
Yeah, that would be my concern, is that if you suddenly relieved all the commercial parking,
And
that could become a pretty dense area without any parking available for people to conveniently leave their cars.
We essentially take the commercial use parking and put it on the street.
Essentially, yeah.
For
that's what
the-
we're doing,
yeah.
yes.
So that to me, I mean, I guess the other option would be somehow to apply it as Harbor's Edge requirements, which has the commercial, but that's a little bit harder to,
Yeah, since it's in a CHOD anyway.
Right.
yeah.
And currently, I might be mistaken, but there is some residential above on I mean, if you're walking,
If you walk all the way to the end
right,
of that
there,
street.
there is commercial, I mean, there is residential on both sides in parts,
Sure, Powderhouse Lane.
right, well, and above, isn't there on,
Above
Uh,
my,
isn't there?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
It's
and also-
everything on the west side is residential.
I think there are 3 apartments above. the
Yeah, I don't
base.
think there's any commercial on the west side.
No commercial on the west side, right? I'm talking about residential on the east side. And I think there is some up above.
I
Residential,
think it's only those apartments.
but if
But
it
they're not
remains in the
included.
general district, it could be, by lot, it could be a 4-family. But basically the same that is required today. The only thing we would lose in terms of outcome is a requirement, for commercial on the first floor.
right.
That's really the only, and we would lose, if we keep it in the district, we lose the parking requirements. So, and this was, certainly something that came up in the site
A
walk.
walk.
So. Does anybody want to make a motion to remove it or to leave it in, or just, or no motion that would?
Sure, no, I think I'll make that motion to take the Elm Street properties out of the downtown district.
Town center.
Town center
Center
district.
And leave it as general district.
Okay. Do I have a second?
So
Just so we can discuss it.
I'll second that.
Okay. Go ahead, and I'm gonna ask Mark for his opinion.
yeah, sorry, I jumped in there. I could say.
It's okay.
So that would mean the Elm Street property is no longer part of anything we're doing, the current zoning that we're creating.
That's right.
Correct.
There is clearly zoning that applies to them, but it won't be part of what we're
With
generating.
no change from their current zoning. Which is they're in the general district
I don't
now.
really have any opinion one way or the other, so I would agree with that.
Can I clarify if the CHOD encompasses that entire cutoff section? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So effectively, we would be encouraging more residential use, a tendency toward more residential use, given what's on the west side and the northern boundary of it with the apartments.
I think what we might lose is mixed use there.
Yeah,
We have mixed use.
We, it already is. part of it.
Yeah. So I think what happens is you get in that gray area of the problems with the general district use table in that,
mhm.
you know, mixed use is
So effectively, that drawing is gonna change.
correct. So the boundary would then go follow, I think,
Yeah. follow
here
the
where my
pond.
cursor is, right above the C.
Yeah.
And would go up along the water to the back of the fire station.
Right.
So,
Wow, that's a fairly significant chunk of space.
Well, it's 4 properties.
Mark, do you have any comments one way or the other?
No, I mean, I think it's reasonable not to include it. We are trying to focus on the core area of the downtown. If we're successful over the next several years and really creating a vibrant, busy, walkable downtown, lots of stores, and there's demand for additional retail, I mean, it can continue to be there.
Right.
Can't, but areas can always be rezoned. If you wanted to extend the zoning.
And I might be mistaken, so help refresh my memory, but during the walk, we heard from folks who own property on Elm Street, I believe,
Yes,
and afterwards, and people who lived on Elm Street, I believe. And they seemed concerned about including. Okay. There was no-
because they had properties that were currently commercial and they wanted to, I mean, I think you're the gentleman who said that.
Any comment on that?
yeah.
So, I will take comment on the change, a change to leave Elm Street out of the downtown zoning and leaving it in the general district. Comments?
Sure. I'm Mark Lovsky. I happen to be married to a woman who owns the buildings at 1 and 5 Elm Street, which is the Mariposa building and the little building at 1 Elm. And first of all, I applaud your efforts. I think if you're able to maintain a vibrant retail community in Manchester, that's terrific. We have some experience now, my wife, on trying to operate a retail store on Elm Street. And that's part of the reason why I'm here. And what I'm doing is reiterating some of the comments I made on my birthday, November 10th, when I couldn't attend your meeting. But in any event, I agree with Mark that the true retail corridor is Central Street to Beach Street. And Elm Street, as you know, is a dead-end street. It's narrow. It doesn't have a lot of parking. The property that is of particular concern to us is 1 Elm Street. It's a property that's less than 3,000 square feet of land. It has a building that originally housed the Cricket Press years ago.
Oh, my gosh.
And since then, it's been a number of other things, including a single-family house. And at the moment, it's leased to Jay Sweet, who operates the Newport Jazz Festival and the Folk Festival. The building itself is structurally not in very good shape, and it's not worth renovating. The only approach that makes economic sense is taking that building down and constructing what would be a small single-family house. And retail wouldn't work at that site. My wife has opened a store at 5 Elm called Mariposa and Friends that's been in operation for about a year now. And it's not there because it was a wonderful economic opportunity. It's there because during COVID, she needed to have a showroom to show products to people around the country. So it was set up as a showroom, and it worked quite well for that purpose. After COVID, it occurred to Livia and her staff that it made sense to test it out as a retail store. They had personnel in the building. Obviously, they own the space, so it wasn't a question of hiring staff and outfitting the building. Since then, she's done a lot to try to generate business at that site. It's not just her products, it's Mariposa and Friends, so it's a lot of businesses that she knows from the industry. And it's, if any of you have been in there, it's a pretty nice store, but it suffers because it doesn't have a lot of pedestrian traffic. People don't drive by Elm Street. And consequently, if it weren't for the fact that she already had the overhead, it wouldn't be economically viable. I think the bike store survives because it's destination business. And I think destination businesses on Elm Street could work. But I agree with other comments that have been made about the nature of the street. And I don't need to say much more because I think you tend to concur that it really doesn't make a lot of sense. I think when you referred to Chad, that's 3A, isn't it?
Yes.
Actually, 1 Elm isn't in 3A. That the other properties are included, but 1 Elm is oddly enough not included. But that really doesn't make a difference. And I think you're right. By doing this, there will be a parking requirement for all the other properties on Elm Street, and I think there should be. Because if there weren't, I think there'd be a lot of congestion. So, in summary, I guess, I'm here to applaud you for being clever and taking Elm Street out of the proposal. And I think that what's gonna happen on the street is gonna be very good. Olivia has been working with the town because the town needed certain easements in order to do the Central Pond project. So we agreed on boundary lines and we're looking forward to that happening. I guess that may be back on track, as I understand it. And so with that, there would be some further problems because there couldn't be a connection of traffic for an extended period of time.
Oh, actually, it's really good
Right.
point.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, great. Thank you, Mark. Any other public comment on this topic of Elm Street in or out of the town center district? Okay, I'm not seeing any. So any other discussion from the board? We have a motion on the table to remove the Elm Street from the town center district. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Great, passes unanimously. So Mark, you'll make that change? Great, thank you. The next piece of the district that I'm aware of, I think, is the property that is, my cursor is pointing to, the house right along the tracks. Mr. McKenna, correct? Mr. McKenna, small house, or owns this property. And I know he had asked to come and make a case for excluding it from the Harbor's Edge District. So with that, why don't I'm gonna flip it a little bit and ask you to just, I know Mark had invited you to come and speak to us.
Yep. So I'm David McKenna. I live at 37 Beach Street. We purchased the house 5 years ago. Last used as a commercial property at PJ's Harborside Restaurant back in the late 90s. Property was then bought in 2000, so 25 years ago. And in 2004, converted to residential. So it's been residential for over 20 years. I think we're the only residential property of the 12 properties here, strictly residential. So the request is to keep it in general. If the property turns over in the future, you know, someone might want to put commercial in there again. But I don't see a reason to have to make it within the Harbor's Edge, which would restrict me from potentially making it a 2-family. Bought the house with 3 children, we're down to 1. He's 21, he'll be moving up. So potentially I could make it a 2-family. And I think that also aligns with MBTA, you know, communities zoning, that they want more housing near the transportation areas.
Okay, thank you. I just want to clarify that under the proposed Harbor's Edge District rules, you would not be precluded for putting 2 residential units, but the requirement in the Harbor's Edge is that you would have to have some sort of commercial in the first, you would have to have commercial on the first floor, or receive a variance on that use, which the ZBA generally does not authorize. So, and that kind of goes to Sandy's other issue question. So we'll come to that about whether or not we should maintain that strict prohibition on the first floor for the Harbor's Edge, because they seem to me to be related. So let's just take up this Harbor's Edge 37 Beach Street as part of the Harbor's Edge District first. Comments from the board?
Do you mind pointing out where it is
Right
on
where my
the?
cursor is, it's right next to.
It was cursor, oh.
I can't understand, where is the hardware store on that map?
Right back,
No, that's the sewage treatment.
It's right here, no, sorry.
right there.
Right there,
Hardware, 35 Beach.
yeah, okay. Thank you.
Okay,
This little garage,
Touch the screen, because it's a touch screen.
this little garage belongs to Ace Hardware storage in here.
Oops,
Hold on, let me make it bigger.
You could Mark, you probably looked at, it, but I think you can keep the boundary line continuous. To get around 37 Beach.
Okay, so we're talking about this property here and this
Yep.
property store.
So that's the freestanding residential unit
Yes.
prior to, in its prior life as a restaurant.
Yeah, it's between the tracks and the hardware store.
Yeah.
Yes. That's right.
The yard in the front.
Right.
How big is your lot?
It's something like 5,000 square feet.
So
Parking for 6 cars.
it's non-conforming.
Non-conforming, it's right on the edge of the property lines.
So I have 2 points to make. One is, it's not an obvious single-family housing site in the town. If I were gonna build a thing personally, I wouldn't choose that site because of its location next to the tracks and the sewer treatment plant.
But it's a great view.
But it does have a great view of the harbor when the train isn't there. And I had thought, if we left it in the G district, I thought it would be left out of its own, but actually it would become part of the
municipal stuff.
the municipal things going on in back of it, masons and so forth. So,
So this is G back here.
yeah, that's all G.
And this is A
By
here.
Tappan Street as well. All those are G as well.
Yes,
Reed Park is.
Is G.
and Reed Park is too. So I don't feel strongly about it one way or the other.
I don't know.
Can we revisit the reasons why we decided on including it in the first place? I think there were some distinctions there.
Well, I think it was next to the hardware store and it
It-
wasn't an obvious residential site. I think.
Right, it's part of the sort of core commercial district.
Mhm.
I mean, essentially what happened when Harbor Point and that area got developed is the commercial district moved from north of the railroad to the other side of the railroad. And it began that. So I don't know, I mean, the problem, as I understand it, from your point of view, is that residential use in the harbor's edge is a no, and commercial is required. Is that correct?
No, it's just putting restrictions on me. I'd rather stay general and not have the same zoning I have.
Well,
You
but
make me Harbor's Edge.
if you could remain
I
residential,
can't make it a 2-family without adding commercial to my first floor,
Yeah, that's what.
which the house is not set up for that. There's no way
Right.
it would work.
but that's the way the zoning is now. And I personally have a problem with the zoning being a no, requiring commercial on the first floor and not. Yes, in Harbor's Edge, because I think we just don't know. I mean, your situation is one situation, but it's just so hard to predict how real estate development will happen in the town. And I would like the board to have some flexibility as opposed to have a hard and fast rule about Harbor's Edge is only commercial on the first floor.
So,
And that's it, as opposed to making it a planning board review kind of thing, as we do in the town center.
I think the rationale for Harbor's Edge being commercial on the first floor is, with the exception of 37 Beach, it is currently commercial on the first floor. And it was included in this district, to Brian's point, is that it kind of contiguously has the
Commercial all over.
it is like, in terms of a structure and its location and its proximity to what would be the core, a part of a commercial area, it was included. I feel actually very good about having a requirement of commercial on the first floor. And don't forget, if you were gonna develop these things take a long time. I mean, I'm thinking about cell signaling, pointed Mark, there are opportunities to change zoning, you know, we certainly did that for, with self-signaling to raise height limits of stacks to accommodate a great use and in a thoughtful way. But I worry that if we have a special permit and everybody comes in and says, oh, I really need residential on the first floor, pretty soon the market is gonna drive that potentially to be residential, big residential and you know, what happens with the special permits, unfortunately, and I'd love to figure out how to not to do this, but people spend a lot of money to get a really nice looking plan to sell it to us. And they're wed to it. They're very wed to that plan. And, you know, we want them to be wed to a commercial, thriving first floor plan. That's what they have today. And in this district, it's mixed in the town center. And I think we've given people a lot of flexibility. And our goal here is not necessarily to maximize somebody's property value. We may be arguably increasing property values, depending on your perspective, throughout much of this district. But our goal here is to do exactly what we said, which is to try to preserve the commercial core. So,
Sarah, could you
yes.
just explain your comment about how you are potentially increasing the valuation of properties in that district?
You certainly can comment on that. Yeah. Or
No,
you mean,
could you comment?
Can I comment?
Make a comment that you are potentially increasing the value of property.
well, currently the zoning in a good chunk of this is 20,000 square feet and we're changing to 6,000 square feet lots. So, you know,
Single family, no two
yeah.
family, no commercial.
Yeah,
I mean, the
so-
zoning is
so
totally.
we're dramatically reducing lot size in a big chunk of the of the harbor's edge. Now, each property is different, and our job is not to assess today's value versus tomorrow's value. Our job here is to try to do good planning for the town. So, anyway, so we're talking about two things right now, but they're related, right? Because Mr. McKenna's options become limited because of
The commercial.
the commercial on the first floor, and that is unique to those properties, that district. But at the same time, it doesn't preclude the home staying as a single family home from the end of time.
Right.
And if the property, I don't have it right in front of me, but if the property is under 6,000 square feet, it's not complying with zoning anyway. So it's a non-compliant, so anything you did would need a special permit. You don't have any right, if your property is under 6,000 square feet. You don't have that right for a two-family anyway today. Without, by right, it's not a by right situation. I don't know what your area is, but.
I actually have the area here. And it looks like it's 6,000 square feet. This is from the assessor's data. And it says it's 0.14 acres, 6,000 square feet is 0.138 acres.
We need a survey.
Yeah, because it's all.
So what is your
Switched
intent to do with the property?
I'm not planning to do anything in the short term. I just don't want to be able to lose flexibility. Only residential property in the Harbor's Edge district. Why put restrictions on this property? It was converted from commercial to residential over 20 years ago. Keep the continuous line and go around me. Why is that property being included?
So right now, it's single family and their future potential to convert it to a two-family house or to 2 units.
It's in the general district, so it could be converted to a two-family. It could also be converted to a lot of commercial use.
Yeah.
However, parking requirements would apply, so we would have to go for variance or comply with parking requirements. So for whether he adds commercial or does does 2 units or more. So I mean, it is still
I
a
see.
commercial property, you know, in a general district property. It's just would not be a Harbor's Edge district property, so.
So what would the parking requirement be for the general district for a 2-family again? Is that
Well, that would be
3
three
spaces?
space, yeah,
On the lot?
yeah, and he says he is 5 or 6.
I mean, I think you can also make an argument if we're talking about that particular property, that it's more, that it belongs with A.
Hmm. Well,
I mean, it's none of the A district here, 22,000 square feet. It's kind of along the same. No,
no,
Okay.
it's isolated, it's abutting the G district, it's currently part of the G district.
all right, okay, I'll take that.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I think as long as there is potential for it to continue to go back to a commercial use, I don't have any problem with it staying in the general district. Because you can draw a line there. I mean, it is, if it were further in the center of the district, why I wouldn't want to do it at all, but it's on the very edge.
And if it's in the Harbor's Edge district for commercial use, it will have to comply with parking.
Yes,
So it's not really changing.
right,
right, it's sort of the same, except for the requirement
for commercial.
or which.
Yeah,
It's pretty similar to Elm Street.
it is kind of
Talked about.
similar.
Or
It's in her building's in good shape.
I'll tell you my inclination, and I understand your predicament, is that we leave it as is, and that we have only heard from the property owner. And it makes sense to have it in, and we still have a public hearing to go through. We can see if there's additional public comment, but to me, it makes sense to have it in the district. That's.
So that I understand, the limitations that would be applied to him, if he could not turn it into a 2-family house unless he converted. Unless he provided commercial space.
Or had a variance.
Aha,
And you can't provide the parking.
thereby the challenge.
I think that, yeah, it's,
why would anyone else in the public have any concern about my property being in Harbor's Edge?
I think part of it is what it was before it was a residence. That people who have a long history in the town remember it as commercial space. And then all of a sudden, it wasn't commercial space
It's still
anymore.
commercial, it's general.
no, this use
But
itself.
being used, and that's, people view its use
Sure.
as not,
It's in a way, if I can jump in.
yeah,
The property is kind of a poster child for what we're trying to prevent happening
Right.
in downtown.
Right.
But
This was
it's
30
done,
years
now
ago.
it's done, so.
None. It's all residential. It's
So
the only residential
I get
property
it.
in there.
Okay, go ahead.
Another example, before I had the house under agreement 5 years ago, it was under agreement with a realtor, J. Barrett Realty.
Hmm.
Had it under agreement contingent upon the town's approval. The town said you need to add parking for 10 spaces because of the number of people who were gonna be in the building.
Yeah,
And they proposed that the front of that area, which is like a garden, just park mulch and shrubs, be converted to parking. And I don't know, it was the planning board of the town, whatever, said, no, we won't approve that. And so Jay Barrett released the property, said we can't, town won't approve it. Went back on the market, and then I bought it. Now it's residential. But there's no reason why in the future, you know, if I were to sell that property, someone wanted to come in and make it a restaurant, someone wanted to come in and make it a real estate office, there's no restrictions why that wouldn't happen.
So I think that's the best argument for taking it out of the Harbor's Edge, is that it can't be developed for commercial anyway, because there's not enough parking to do it. You can turn it into maybe an ice cream stand. That's about it, for for 6,000 square feet, that's. Maybe you could get 5 parking, but you have 6 maybe?
Yes, that's.
You could have a restaurant with. 2 tables.
On the outside the district, then there's no parking restriction and people can park on the street.
Well, for a commercial use, it would still require parking
It would have to be in the
Yeah,
town
required
center.
by general.
in the general district as well. If you're in the town center district.
Okay,
I don't know. I'd like to say one thing in favor of excluding it, which is that if Mascanoma Park, if Reed Park is in the general district, it allows a continuous general district to make that also in the general district, as opposed to a break there.
It abuts the general district.
only at Reed Park.
Well, no,
No,
at Reed
not-
Park and on the western boundary too.
No, because this is the hardware store, this is 2 different lots. This is the hardware store.
Carving a little piece out, really, yeah.
I see.
Oh, so it doesn't go all the way to the
No, yeah,
boundary, does it?
this property is
Oh,
just.
that's the
this-
hardware. Oh,
yeah.
so he's surrounded by commercial stuff.
But the parking does kind of make sense. Okay, I'm not hearing anybody, I'm feeling like we need just to mull that over
Yeah.
a little bit longer.
Hmm.
We've heard, thank you for coming. We've heard your argument. I want to move on to the other things that we can resolve tonight. And we will. I think we have not taken action to remove it, which is, but we have heard your input.
I think you make it compelling.
I
Yes,
don't
yeah,
think it's much different from Elm Street, to be
Yeah.
honest. It feels very similar.
Thank you. I think, I want to move on to, the rest of these districts. Are there other changes at all that people have contemplated or heard that, should be, discussed? Tabling that one for the moment. Any other, changes?
I had one question on the principal buildings, section that was strike through, right? Let's see, it's,
The language of the.
the language section
Okay.
4.1.4, that was one.
Let me just, let's just finish on the,
Okay.
on the map.
Boundaries.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, any other, I haven't heard any other changes proposed for the map. Okay, great. Thank you. So let's, oh, I guess I should ask if there are any other comments on the map district boundaries from the public. Okay, hearing none. Thank you. Okay, so, district boundaries. Okay, go ahead, Brian, what the.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify if we intend to allow more than one principal building per lot, and make that explicit. Just because I think the use tables do a good job, but then that's kind of a separate thing, because technically by removing it, we could allow more than one principal building per lot, right? So
Where are you?
that's section 4.1.4, right above the use tables.
It's specific to residential buildings. I think the discussion is been like, it's been 5 to commercial buildings in the past, I'm not sure. Talked to Paul about this, Paul Orlando, our buildings. As well as council about this, and I feel that perhaps by removing this, town council does, by removing this, you would stop someone from having 2 single families on the lot.
Mhm.
The only reason, like normally, bylaws don't have something like this, but because you had it, now you're taking it out, there could be an argument made that you could have 2 single families on a parcel, so.
I'm sorry, I was missing.
Is this on page 2 of the draft?
This
It says
Bottom of page 1 of the draft.
Section 4.1.1.
No, okay,
Strike.
no
It
dwelling.
says
shall be
remove,
erected
that's the remove from section 1.1.
except on a.
Yeah, it's got the strike through it.
Yeah.
Right through is true.
So,
Shall not be more than one principal. That applies across all zoning.
Right, and we had talked about allowing that for the 2 downtown districts, but, so we struck it out. So that someone could have 2 families, have some commercial, have multiple residential buildings on a parcel. But by striking it for the entire town, as opposed to just allowing multiple residential buildings in those 2 districts. So they wanted to point that out. Maybe we might want to change this language, not
That's
remove
really
it, but.
confusing.
It is very.
Yes, it is very confusing because this is like an odd duck, like most towns don't have something like this. And so, maybe by saying, well, leaving that, but maybe allowing more than one principal residential building on part of a lot, like except for, you only allow it in the downtown, 2 downtown districts. 2 new districts.
Okay, so,
Mhm.
so number 1 exists in our current
That's
zoning.
correct.
Yes,
And so this actually, by striking it, don't we solve the
The 2-family.
the zoning board of appeals ADU versus single?
Yes,
Yes,
Doesn't that solve that problem
yeah.
in a different way?
Yes.
well, since ADUs, this wouldn't be such a big deal. With ADUs now being allowed.
Well, ADUs now are not gonna be allowed in the town center and downtown district. Because we don't allow single family. That's the biggest,
Granted, yes, but I mean, for the rest of the town.
right.
Since ADUs are allowed, this doesn't really,
But what
you're
was the
allowed to have 2
problem?
single family houses on a lot anyway.
Yeah, one would just be called an ADU and would
Yeah.
be smaller. Yes.
But this means that the D2, D1 prohibition. That the ZBA, no large ADUs are allowed in D. And you can't have 2 residential buildings that are not attached in D. So by striking, this is like a different issue altogether than the downtown,
Hmm,
it seems to me.
yeah,
So
That-
Well,
if
no,
you don't have a 2-family, you just have to be in one building.
right.
Attached.
That's what this says, but if we strike it, then the Matronos could have had a 2-family in 2, because they wanted to
Yes.
separate.
Yeah.
That's right. This would solve it.
So that was the problem. It solves that problem in a different way. But my concern in terms of process is like, this is a whole new idea.
Right.
It has nothing to do with downtown.
Oh, gosh,
So,
not the moment, really. I mean, especially if you want to get senior housing dealt with.
right,
Because trying to think about the implications of this, I mean, my immediate reaction is in the D districts, there's tons of structures that violate this. Lots.
Well, it actually makes it's more lenient, it's less restrictive than we have today. Is we
Right.
strike it. But my point is, we're sneaking this.
Right.
Yeah, I don't wanna use the, this,
It was a way of by taking this out, it was a way of allowing multiple residential buildings on the downtown district, residential buildings on the downtown district lots,
or D.
which is what we weren't even, when we
Put that in.
decided to not put it in, to remove this. It was to remove it so that it wouldn't restrict the two downtown districts from having multiple buildings that have residential units
Oh,
on a single parcel.
So
So
if we
that
just turn this around and just simply say,
allow it in those
allow it in
two.
those two districts, then we don't have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
I mean, it might be a good solution for D as well.
Yeah, but we'll take. that up
But
in the
not
next
now.
But,
Yeah.
but D, you can deal with separately under the ADU.
But you can't, because ADUs are not allowed.
No,
Large ADUs are not allowed in D, that's,
well, that's a separate article that we
right,
have to
that
discuss.
changes it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a separate article.
Okay, so let's make this an affirmative statement rather than a change that affects all of the town
Right.
without thinking about what that means. So an affirmative statement would be,
So we would leave this in and then we
Yes.
accept the two downtown districts.
Yeah,
Right.
we could do that.
yeah.
Yes, so it would say the
Town
same in
center
the,
and the
Accepted
Harbor's
that.
Edge.
in the TCN.
Now, it might be a good idea to take it out going forward, but I
Yes,
think it's
but
just
not today.
it's a different issue.
Yeah, it could generate a lot of
Touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
discussion.
Yeah.
I understand if you just leave
It's
it
a-
in.
We all have our value added.
Whew, okay,
Okay,
Good catch.
all right, I do have it up on the screens. Okay, let's see, let's see, the issues that we were gonna talk about were just around Elm Street parking. I don't really have anybody, I think parking, we're clear right now with the one for residential and none for commercial in town center, and according to the complicated table for the Harbor's Edge, okay. Let's talk about Sandy's question here, additions to the table of use. Basically adding mixed use buildings to the table. The table does not permit first floor residential uses in the Harbor's Edge district. I'm reading your comment, and Sandy says, I worry about not giving ourselves, the property owners of the district, the flexibility to respond to unforeseen conditions, given the new provisions. Planning board designation might be more appropriate for the moment. We talked about this. Sandy, did we convince you, or do you still want to see us have?
Sandy, what would be your preference here? What do you think the wording? should
My
be?
preference would be, I think a plan, I mean, I don't have the experience you've had of people coming in and they get wedded to a plan. And so in general, when you're pushing a new set of rules out into the public and to see what happens with them, it's good to have flexibility to respond to situations you did not foresee. And so that's my only reason for, let's not just say a flat no.
So my
Let's see.
concern though is that we currently, if we had currently had a mix of uses in Harbor's Edge, I would
Right.
agree with you. But with the exception of this 37 Beach, we
Right,
have
we
all
know.
commercial on the first floor. And so it's not really a departure
Right, it's keeping, it's trying to keep it the
It's trying to
same.
keep that.
It's a little
those
bit
uses.
freezing it, which is part of what the whole effort is to
Right. It's
preserve.
really,
Yeah,
that's-
I'm half convinced.
And it's also part of the general premise of can we make the zoning match a little bit what's there?
Yes. Oh my gosh, looking at the A zone
Right,
and Harbor.
right.
I
And
mean,
so it's a little bit step in that direction, a little bit of a step in that direction.
okay.
yeah, I'm
Or
a,
you're okay leaving it
Yeah.
right now? Okay. The notes on the table of uses,
oh god.
both notes use lot as a determining factor on how many units are permitted on a lot. And a lot is defined by size, so the unit limit is for 6,000 square.
It's not clear what a lot is, so it's not clear when you say there are X number of units on a lot. Is that only on the minimum size lot, on the 6,000 square foot lot? So if,
Anyone's lot.
But you could subdivide it to
Yes.
12,000 square feet.
you could make two lots,
Yeah.
right?
Then you could have, you know.
If you have
4 units on
frontage,
each
right.
lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
So, yeah, so if you have a long skinny lot that only has the required frontage. And it's 12,000 square feet, it would be hard to subdivide it. But if you have a wide lot. and-
Like Chris Goodrich,
Yeah,
you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, so. And that's generally how density is described, right?
Yeah,
unless it's-
the word lot is used throughout the
Yeah, and
zoning
it's
bylaw.
defined in, it's one of our definitions.
It's used throughout the zoning bylaw to define a parcel. Parcel's another word,
Well,
that's also used probably in the bylaw.
the reason I ask is because, what happened with the and ask for a little bit of clarity is because with the MBTA zoning, the parcel at the corner of Deer Hill Road and Pine Street had over an acre, I think it was like 57,000 square feet. And the subdivision allows, you know, could allow a whole bunch of 6,000 square foot properties. And we wanted to make it clear that there was a limit that was absolute for those lots. And so we picked what the lot was at that particular point in time. So I'm asking that question, do we need to think about that?
So, an example.
There are lots big enough, I mean, I
We're
don't know.
not trying to do that here.
So an
we're-
example is Harbor Point is.
Yeah.
couple of acres.
Yes.
And so
2 acres.
if we were to do the same process is put in time, lock in time, the lot, which is the one lot at Harbor Point, then you would only get 15, let's say it's 2 acres, you'd get 30 units.
30.
Which is actually in that district, what you're gonna get anyway, whether even if you make 6,000 square foot lots. But elsewhere in the town center,
There are not many
there
big
aren't any
lots.
big lots, especially since we've taken out the Elm Street piece. That's where the
Yeah.
big lots are.
Yeah, I'm trying
So
to,
that's why the 15 units per acre makes sense for Harbor's Edge. Because it gets away from that lot. Because if you divided Harbor's Point into 6,000 square feet lots and allowed 4 per, then you end up with 28 per acre. Or something like that. 7 times. You could have 7 lots per acre roughly, times 4, 28. I mean, at its maximum.
right. Yeah, there's only really, in the town center, there's only the one, 8 Beach, you know, the whole,
Yeah, Seabreeze.
Sea Breeze and the Stanleys.
Yeah.
That's the only,
That's a
property.
good shot anyway.
Yeah,
It's probably our biggest.
yes.
Okay. So we're clear on the lot question? We talked about the different reviews of different. Okay, the other issue that we said we were gonna talk about is should there be a density bonus for affordable? As opposed to a requirement. Right now, we have a requirement. I would argue that for right now, we should just keep it simple and require the 5% or over 20% over
Right.
5 units. It's easier to understand and
It's consistent.
consistent with the CHOD. So,
Makes sense.
okay, other comments that people want to talk about? Jeff, have you heard things, as you've been, any other things people want to talk about? I mean, we have to take this to the select board. Where's our deadlines, Mark?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I mean, it looks good. There's a lot of good discussion here. I'm just trying to educate myself on this whole thing. So I don't really have any comments at this time, but.
No problem. One of the things I do want to talk about is when we should come to the select board to talk about this zoning and some of the other zoning. So we can maybe coordinate that offline. We don't have to spend meeting time, but I think we probably need to come to you quite soon.
Would you, yeah.
Okay, I'll mention that to Tony when I talk to him.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I talked to Tony about trying to have a informal discussion with the select board prior to voting to submit the final.
Oh, that would be good. Yeah.
So because you have to submit your final vote, all your articles by the 23rd of February.
Oh, okay. We got a little time.
So, so I was thinking
Barbara.
perhaps the select board's first or last meeting of January or first meeting of February.
Okay.
To give us time.
Okay. So I'm going to close the discussion on the downtown zoning.
Wait,
Oh, yeah.
there is a mistake. On section 6.1.9. It says that in the town center, commercial uses shall be exempt from parking requirements, except for hotels, but hotels aren't allowed at all in the town center district. Only inns are allowed.
Yes.
It's on page.
Yes, that's correct.
Right, but it says hotels.
Oh, it says inns, comma, and hotels.
Oh, this is this is the Sunday night version.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I was just gonna say, I am gonna ask everyone to pledge that they print this thing out and read it aloud to your spouse.
Well,
or-
the trouble is
you know,
it keeps moving around. I mean, I
Yeah.
printed it out and read it
know.
and it's like, oh,
Mark,
The
can
only-
you?
The only thing I did that was different is after getting comments from council, as I incorporated their comments, which were fairly minor, and I turned the formatting that changed. So I formatted it as a town meeting article.
Yeah,
mhm.
That's why there's these strikeouts, everything's in red. So, that's new, and then there are descriptions and it's set up exactly the way our warrants are set up, so.
okay. So I do see this language that says if the now 8.5.2, if the project is in the historic district and is being reviewed by the district commission, their approved building design shall be incorporated into final approval. That's a new language?
Yes, so, she had some comments about the historic district, this design review. And her comment was basically if you, can't have in a particular zoning district, well, you know, different requirements for different properties, so.
I
if
see.
If it's so you can't say, well,
Right. Right.
some of you go here, some of you go there for
I see.
design review. You have to go to a single. So that's why they have to go through our design review process, and you can't send them if they're not in a historic district. You can't send them to the historic commission because
So
by
they all have to
statute,
come through us, and is
right?
that what
so-
she's saying?
So because by statute, they can only review what's in a historic district. So if it's in a historic district, as much as we're trying to simplify it, it would need 2 sets of reviews. Now, remember, historic
Mhm.
commission is primarily just interested in the building. You would be more interested in some of the additional site design requirements. So again, if it's in a historic district, you know, you probably would defer to and have someone attend historic commission meeting to, as far as the building goes.
Is there something that says that we'll collaborate in some way?
I don't have that kind of language in here, so,
I mean, maybe we just hope they do.
yes. Yes.
It could be in our regulations.
Okay, are there any other substantive changes? So when we present this,
Mhm.
we do need to change how we say that, which is, all of them have our design review. Historic is included in. Okay, that's a change.
Yeah, it is a change.
Oh,
Is that gonna change an FAQ somewhere?
I
Yeah.
don't know, gives me a headache though.
There you go. It probably does change in FAQ.
Section 2. Review our take for your decision.
Keep the one. Okay,
The first page.
One thing is, family daycare. Large family daycares are now a, protected use, so
do we
we
have
have
to
them
change that to a
as.
yes?
As ZBAs, and so in your draft, you'll see that those are now yes.
Okay,
And the other thing is, we will probably have to have another article to make it yes in the other districts as well.
We don't have to do this right away.
Because
we're gonna do that some other time,
Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah.
because
I mean,
state law.
it's an unenforceable,
Right.
it's an
Enforceable.
unenforceable ZBA requirement,
Yeah,
just so.
okay. Okay, any other change, substance, or wording changes or substantive changes? Okay.
Sure.
So Mark, I'm gonna ask you to send us out tomorrow this version,
Final.
as with a date. And I'm gonna ask everyone to print it. And really read it carefully, and find the 3 more things that are typos.
Okay.
Because this is, the notion is what we're gonna receive from Mark will be what goes to the select.
Yes. Okay, and we will still think a little bit about the.
You
Okay.
can put it on the website also.
That what?
Put it on the website so that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll add it to the.
Yeah, and add the changed map.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just gonna change the map. Okay. Great. Let's now move to discussion of hotels and inns. So I'm gonna start with inns. Have you sent this one to town council?
Yes,
Okay, do you have any?
yes. So, hold on. Let me find my copies.
She added a good question.
So one of her things is what distinguishes an inn from a hotel. Because basically the definitions are the same, with the exception of, we said, inns do not exceed 12.
Right.
Right.
However, up to 12, they're kind of the same thing, but you have different requirements. So I said, I added some language to make hotels 13 and up. So that there's a clear distinction between the two.
Right.
Because you're saying an inn is up to 12. The rest of the language of the article, of the definition is similar, so.
She asked an interesting question I thought about, whether is there a minimum number of units to be considered?
Why would we have a minimum?
Well, because you can have a 4-unit building, I guess.
Wouldn't that be a,
Bed.
would that be a?
Wouldn't that be a bed and breakfast?
Oh,
Would it be an inn? I don't know.
Or
Right.
is- I don't know.
Apartments? I don't know.
Did you have a suggestion?
Of course not.
No.
It's got a question.
yeah, I mean, you don't have to have a minimum, but
You do have to have a maximum.
yeah.
Like a 2 or 3 room building, would that qualify as an inn?
Yeah.
As it's written now.
If you
Yep.
had a restaurant and a
Yep.
few rooms of it, yeah.
Yes,
Person.
to do that.
Right.
Only one person, yeah.
Big honeymoon suite.
Right.
By the harbor, that's it.
That's right, yeah.
Mr. McKenna back here.
Okay, so, other, the only difference between, so what we're saying is that inns are allowed in, the general district with a planning board special permit. And they are allowed by right in the town center and the harbor's edge
Mhm. And the LCD.
and the LCD, thank you. Okay. And,
You're allowed by right in the LCD?
in,
Smaller, up to 12.
I guess that's okay, but I thought all uses in the LCD require a special permit. Elsewhere in the bylaw.
There's that.
It's in the LCD.
I think it's in the LCD section. Unless we change it.
It might, I didn't.
I know we all curse table 4.2, but it is so much infinitely easier to figure out things.
Yeah, it sure is.
When they was
Yes.
all narrative,
The narrative stuff is.
it's just unbelievable.
9.2, 5.1.
Up to 4 borders in a single home dwelling is allowed by right, maintaining any lot more than usual. Business or professional bank is allowed by right. Medical office building is allowed by right. Municipal uses, religious purposes, educational purposes, childcare, community or private club. I think we allow a lot of things by right.
We do.
Yeah.
There's agricultural stuff that's very puzzling, actually.
Maybe it's just site plan review that's required. We took that.
Well, site plan review would be.
I have a question. Do we have a limit on the size of a hotel? Do we want
Say
to,
that again?
do we want to put a limit on the size of a hotel?
So let's talk about inns first.
Okay, all right.
The one I was trying to
Okay,
get.
sorry.
Are there any proposed changes to inns? Special permit in the general, allowed by right in LCD, Town Center and Harbor Edge. My only sort of going to your point, we don't have any right now. Should we just have them be special permit in the town everywhere, just because we don't kind of know
How it's gonna shake out.
how it's gonna shake out.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, me too.
Putting it as a special permit for the planning board
For the two new districts.
across the board, I guess I would say,
Okay.
just to sort of. Because. I'm just thinking about the opportunity for the public to have input about the amenities and, I don't know, you're saying, oh, we're getting bureaucratic.
Yes.
Well, we're a small town, or is it?
Oh, no, I get it. But I mean, it is just an inn and it's up to 12 units and.
So what if it's like a strange themed inn? you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. I mean, I can see a hotel where, you know, it's at least 13 units and can be bigger and it's beginning to really be impactful. You know, perhaps if someone comes in and a large number of units, to make it a special permit. I mean, you still, either way, will be reviewing kind of the same
Well,
site
we have the
design
design
elements.
No, the
same
site plan
site
review
design
will-
elements and, you know, and all of the same review will occur. It's just easier for you to say no with a special permit as opposed to with a site plan review. You know, attorneys will tell you you can't say no.
Yeah.
You kind of can, but you've got to be very.
So I guess the argument for allowing I'm countering myself, for allowing an inn by right in the town center is that it helps to further the goals of a vibrant downtown and support our businesses, right? And that is consistent with what we've been trying to do. All right, I'll withhold any further comment on that.
Well, okay, let me
Yeah,
argue your
yeah.
original point here, because 12 is a big number of units. Actually, if you look at everything in the downtown, there isn't anything that's 12 units.
12 rooms.
12 rooms. Well, what's got 12 rooms? Not much. The Drask House.
Well,
So, I mean, it's
Yeah.
big for downtown, is all I'm saying. For the two new districts.
you got three or four apartments have 12 bedrooms. So.
Zach's could be 12, an inn with 12 rooms.
Well, there you go.
Easily. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
boutique.
Cargo.
Cargo, oy.
You still have to meet the lot coverage and setback.
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And all that, yeah, okay. Okay.
Okay, hotels, which are, proposed. So this is, 15 or more units, and the proposal is limited commercial district or Harbor's Edge with a special permit. My personal thought is, let's start with inns and let's put this one on the back burner for this town meeting and not try to. We got a lot we're trying to do, and this seems like a low priority to me.
Sorry.
Yeah, and I think if somebody really has a big hotel project, they're gonna come in. They're gonna make a case, we can bring a thoughtful, not that this is thoughtful, zoning change if we need to. It's gonna take a while to do it, but I think that we're gonna get a lot of pushback on this one if we think of Harbor's Point becoming a giant hotel.
I have heard a lot of comment from different kinds of people saying, no, no hotel, and inn, okay, but no hotel. And
Right.
was initially surprised at the comments, but then I started to think about it. Well, you know, right now we don't have anything. We lost
Right.
our old corner inn,
Right.
you know. It's understandable.
Yeah, we may hear that people want inns in a 6-unit kind of thing, more spread throughout the town for me.
Mhm.
And we haven't really had a lot of feedback. We haven't really done a public campaign on this issue, so.
Well, it may also suffer from people thinking about the boat port at Pavilion Beach. And
Right.
thinking of that as
As
the kind,
the-
as a hotel, an
Right.
example.
Is that a bad thing?
In Gloucester, I think it's fine, although it was very controversial at the time.
I wonder how many rooms.
Anything.
Everything.
Everything is controversial. Yeah, well, it's, yeah. But it's, I think it's out of scale. for the town.
Right, yeah,
Do we have a definition for hotels like we do in?
it's just they're same as inn, like.
Yeah.
they're-
Greater than 13, but no max.
But if we-
So currently, we have a definition for hotels, but it doesn't have a number. So if you don't submit the hotel article, it's still not allowed. You'll just have the definition. You don't need to change anything. You don't need to have an article.
Yeah,
If you did want to add the use, then you should add the 13, so it's clear there's a difference. But
Ah,
whereas you have a definition for inns that is up to 12.
Yeah.
It's very clear, and then you have a use line,
The
so,
hotel does have rooms defining.
yes.
Okay.
So you have a definition, but you don't allow it, so
we don't know.
Right.
you don't have to have an,
So there you
adjust,
go.
you don't have
Oh,
to
yeah.
adjust the article,
Right.
so.
So I guess my feeling is right now, what we're trying to do now is figure out what we're gonna suggest to the town. Select board, and I would say we should table this one for
Yep.
now.
Should we ask the select board?
Yeah, I think we should say that as our my suggestion is that we say proposing in small, because it helps with the town center vital issue. And that hotels need a larger thought process. It's on our list. For,
Maybe you could say hotel can't be bigger than 25 rooms. Which would make it pretty small. but-
yeah, that's pretty small, probably.
The
So,
Beaufort
yeah.
has 94 rooms, by the way.
Ah, there we go.
So I don't know, my sense is that we haven't really vetted this and
Right,
okay, and then our focus has been town center, and it helps to make that question, okay,
Yeah.
so we're good on that.
Yeah.
So hotels and inns, any comments on hotels and inns from the public? Okay, senior housing,
All right.
okay. The first thing is we take out all the old definitions that we struggled with our programs. And put in new ones. And
beginning of.
If people don't have copies, I do have a few.
did you make any changes since it went into the packet?
Nope.
Okay.
Well,
Since Thursday.
Okay.
Thursday.
You were gonna make some changes based on
Comments.
council input. Did you do that?
yes, I made a lot of changes.
Oh, gosh, I don't have the,
It depends, if it's from last, what you have is from last Thursday.
I have
Yeah.
the
and
version.
It hasn't changed at all.
Okay,
Okay, I have the.
Because
version.
basically, you really did not review this at the last meeting.
right.
Right.
And so any changes I did, you hadn't really seen. I did send it to council, trying to find their comments.
So Mark, is the latest edition the one that actually has the council's comments in the margin?
No, I did not send, I
That was
might
a
have, I
big-
emailed you comments from council so you can see what her
Right.
comments were, but this incorporates some of those comments as well as I moved some things around. So,
Okay, so I don't,
so what you got last Thursday
I have the one,
is the final one.
I have the 1-6 draft
Yeah, this should say
with the
112.
comments on it.
So, yeah,
I don't have 112.
that's okay.
So Mark, by striking all these different definitions, assisted living, continuing care, independent living, long-term, and so on. And then replacing them with senior housing, independent living, and senior housing, continuing care.
Mm-hmm,
That would suffice.
yes. Yes, these are more up-to-date definitions.
I like the idea of referencing the certification by the Executive Office for Elder Affairs too.
So you removed in section 9.5.2 the requirement that at least one person be 55 or older. Was that in response to her comment about what if the person's disabled or?
That's correct. So someone who's disabled would be able to live in an assisted living facility, but not independent. So the age restriction was moved to independent living and so assisted living. Someone who's disabled.
Yeah, that's a great. It's very helpful.
So clarify, if I'm 45 and have early onset dementia, I can't live in one of these.
No, you can live in an assisted living facility.
You
But
can't
not
live-
independent.
Independent.
But not in regular, independent living is really 55 and older.
Okay.
Just regular housing for 55 and older.
So I noticed town council said that some of the design standards were probably not gonna be approved by the Attorney General. She was unclear about it, and frankly, I think we should leave it in and
Yes.
let AG take advantage of it.
Exactly, and that's why I believe I did not take it out. I did not take it out because it is in many bylaws.
Yeah.
She feels that, you know, it's kind of one of those gray areas of the law.
Yeah.
Because the zoning generally doesn't regulate building code, buildings, interiors of buildings. It more is designed to regulate use. And that she feels that the AG, just so you're aware, might strike this because they're beginning to be more restrictive on towns that are restrictive. In other words, they don't want this kind of requirements. So they may allow one or two or all three of these because they have been allowed in the past.
Yeah.
I think they're good to.
So the affordable unit section moved from overall senior housing to just senior housing independent living.
That's correct. And kind of the one question kind of in discussing that with her was, you know, is that a little too restrictive for one of every 5 units to be affordable? I mean, we'd added the bonus whereby if you build 5, you can get an extra unit. But
Pretty common, but.
Yeah,
is that, it was just a question she brought up.
yeah, well, I think it's a reasonable question, but as we did that feasibility study for the 3A, it turned out to be perfectly feasible everywhere, so. That's what I'm sure.
Okay, so the idea here is that we would allow independent housing
Mhm.
with planning board special permit review in all districts. And that we allow senior housing, assisted living facilities in A, B, C. So A, B, C, not D, E, general, LCD, and not the downtown.
So no let me be sure I understand. So no assisted living in either of the 2 new districts and no assisted living in the D districts.
Correct.
But everywhere else, assisted living is allowed and everywhere else, the independent living is allowed.
With special permit.
Yeah.
So our rationale for that distinction is that D is a residential, relatively
Density.
residential, vibrant, walking community, and the downtown is if
Same
you
thing.
want to have a walking, vibrant community, so assisted
Senior housing.
senior housing is consistent with that. Assisted living for people who are less independent is inconsistent with those 2 downtown or neighborhood use.
Yes.
I think it's important to be able to explain that.
Yes.
Yeah. This remains in 9.5.4, the independent living senior housing section. Item D, maximum size shall not exceed 60 residential units. That just seemed awfully large to me for this town.
It's not gonna happen.
Well, I know, but we're allowing it, so maybe it will. So
Well,
why
they
don't,
have 4 acres to do it, there's just not any 4 acre.
throughout the town in every district? No. I mean, there are,
There are 4 acres.
There are some.
there are.
Not very many.
Yeah.
And where you have 4 acres, like in the LCD,
Mm.
why not have 16 acres?
Well, I think that's not
I think that there's a scale issue for people and I'd really like to see this pass. And I think people are gonna react to the 60 in a way that they wouldn't if it were 25 or 30 or even 40.
I agree.
It's a big number. I mean, the places we saw in Wenham, none of them were that large. And they were all very consistent in terms of their style and look. It's the kind of thing that you could do a tour with people from the town and they would say, oh, yeah, okay.
Well, Maple Woods is 55 acres.
Which one was Maple Woods? The old,
Older one. I mean, the Maples, not Maple, I'm sorry, the Maples.
the Maples, which is the old
Yeah.
mansion place.
well, we're saying 10 per acre.
Right, so
You need 6.
So you'd have to have 6 acres to do 60. But people are gonna react to that
I-
number.
Yeah, I had not thought about that, and yes, they will.
Wasn't the 60 in one of the previous versions? I think that's where I got that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's just the moment is to talk about it is now.
Yeah.
Cause we haven't.
Where do we have the 60, what page?
So it's on, it's nine,
Page, for sake of it.
9.5.4. It's the independent living section,
Okay.
and D has maximum size. It is sort of eye-popping.
Yeah.
Well, I think that also it's 60 if you think if we're allowing it in District A or District G. I mean, LCD, yes, but any of the other districts seem, I think people will say, think about the number of cars and the number of staff and the number of, yeah. The other thing is, we don't have a upper limit on the assisted living.
Well, it's, yeah, 10 units per acre.
10 units per acre, but we
Yeah.
don't have an upper limit.
Yeah, we don't.
Mm.
We should.
Well. The other,
Yeah, there's no maximum size.
yeah, 60 independent,
That's big.
it's big.
It's really big.
Do we need the maximum size? What if we just left the density at 10 dwelling units per acre? So 20. It's 2 acres, that's not. So one of my concerns here with this, first of all, I think we've finally made some good progress.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And my concern is that we have done little or no outreach
Hmm.
on this to get input. So, and we need to put a final version in front of the select board if we can on February 23rd. So I think we probably need a forum at our next meeting with Tiffany.
yeah, it's a good idea.
What?
It's a good idea, yeah.
And then we can present 60 units and get some input and hear hopefully some folks. We need a kind of a quick and dirty communications plan on this. And I'm sure that the select board is going to say to us, oh, what are you doing on this one? I mean, we've been downtown. I think we can legitimately say we've done walkthroughs. We could do another walkthrough, a walk around. We could do another forum. We've got a video. We also need frequently asked questions. I mean, it's fairly simple, but we need,
So
Not done.
why don't we set up
Yeah.
a communications subcommittee?
yeah, to get this
to-
going
yeah.
ASAP.
Yep.
And then I think we can better respond to 60 units and 30 units and by, by some input. But let's try to have a chunk of our next meeting where we have a forum on this.
And do we need a separate sort of communications work group?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what we haven't, I want to be able to say that we've done it, and we do need some input from.
Yeah.
Are we comfortable leaving 60 in right now?
What's the rationale there? Yeah. What are we trying to prevent slash
Encourage.
encourage?
Yeah.
I just see, I mean, I've toured many of these places and 60's big.
Mm.
Oh, 60 is small.
Yeah,
Brookhaven is, how many units at Brookhaven?
at Brooksby,
Brooksby
Yeah, no, but
Village.
we don't
No,
want Brooksby
but
in
yeah.
I mean, no,
No.
nobody wants.
Could it scale with, lot and dimension?
That's 10 units per acre. I actually think it scales with, the district,
Okay.
to me. I think, in the LCD, we had 60 units, great. Because then it's a business.
Mhm.
I mean, it's a commercial use.
We're still gonna hear 60 more cars, 120 more cars,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, yeah,
But,
yeah.
I mean, if the Gordon Woods project changed from apartments to a, assisted living facility, they're gonna, in order to pencil that out, it would need to be bigger than 60, but maybe one portion of their project would be a
Could
60 unit assisted,
you
but it's a commercial use at that
independent
point.
living.
And I think to your question, we're trying to create residential accommodations largely for people who have lived here today and
Right.
want to age in Manchester. That's the goal. As opposed to creating a investment opportunity
Right,
for
right.
a commercial
Develop.
developer. Because the fact of the matter is, these are gonna be commercial facilities. You don't, I mean, maybe there's a co-op model that might exist somewhere, but when you get to assisted living, your regulations, and you have staff, and you have nursing, and you have ambulances, and you have all of those things. And
Dining.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, I would answer your question by saying, this is something that hasn't been done in Manchester
Mhm.
and as Chris always points out, we're the only one on the North Shore. So there's some, assumed resistance, right? And so you're trying to give people a number that seems the right scale for the town. I mean, that's the thing that my experience with MBTA zoning that was the thing people were most sensitive, was scale. So height, people nuts about height. And so I'd rather have a lower number, maybe 40. Even that, people might have a reaction to, but
why wouldn't it be, 40 in the LCD and
yeah,
30 in the other districts or something that's. So, but 60 in LCD aside, 60 seems very.
But why do we see if there's pushback? I mean, if you say 50, then people will say 40, if you say, 30, they're gonna say 20, so.
Okay, let's.
well, part of it is communication though, Chris, because so maybe what we need to do as part of the communication thing, if Maples has 55, take some pictures, you've got some pictures of it, and say this is in Wenham, this is what it looks like from the street. Blah, blah, blah.
Size of the land there, I know you said before, I'm
It's
sorry.
not that big, it's less than 4 acres.
And it's how many units?
55 units, I believe.
It seems like a lot, but I think it's partly because there are a number of units in the big old building.
Yeah.
Are they doubles?
And there's a whole bunch of townhouses all around it.
No, but are in the unit, the assisted living,
It's not assisted living, it's independent.
it's independent living, 60 is one. So if each one is 1,000 square feet, that's a 60,000 square foot facility.
You can also reduce the density instead of 10 to 8.
That's another
So
way to
that
do
it
it.
spreads it out. You know, and not restrict the size.
Right, but a 60,000
Economic-
square foot facility is the fourth largest building in Manchester. Cell signaling and the 2 schools.
And
The
the
2
two
schools.
schools. Yeah, it's a big, yeah.
I'm just saying this is for independent-
Units in here, you have to say 50 units.
Right.
You just put a density and leave it at be, let the,
Yeah, that's a good question, actually.
don't
Yeah,
Don't establish it, don't shock them with 60. Yeah, you solve the problem and let the developer determine what the size wants to actually be and what's available
A
land.
special permit.
It is a special permit.
And so
Yeah.
there's scaling issues that can be addressed.
So I think you either don't say 60 and leave it to density and.
Yeah, say 60.
Or you,
I have no problem doing it whatever until we get some feedback, but I think we're gonna hear some feedback. I know we want the feedback to be positive, not to be negative. That's-
yes. That's right.
So we don't want to give, you know, the internet things to worry about.
Oh, there's always things to think
Um,
about there.
I have one other issue, and that is, the parking for the assisted living,
Oh, it's,
I think needs staff parking,
it says staff, but it doesn't specify a dimension.
and parking to accommodate staff. Okay,
There's no limit.
so then it
That
becomes,
would be determined during.
by the building inspector or by a
Special
permit.
permit.
Okay,
Permit.
okay.
So one thing that I have in here but don't have in here, so this is a little bit of both. I have under the definitions, the last definition is a senior housing continuing care facility. And that would be a nursing home. But I don't have as any specific subsection for that yet, so
So a nursing home is, can be a standalone nursing home,
yes, yeah.
as opposed to continuing care as you get independent, assisted, and then a nursing home. Facility.
Is that how that works?
Council made, she
The staff-
clarified that that was nursing homes.
It includes nursing homes. We can look at the statute.
Okay, I'll have to clarify that, so.
And would it make sense in our table of uses to put senior housing, continuing care, and just put no for the moment? So that so it's in the table. And then we're clear that we're not going for nursing home.
Tackling that right now.
Yeah,
Well, nursing homes are already in the table,
Yeah,
they're charitable nursing homes,
charitable.
which I actually think we should delete that too, because it's,
So not allow nursing homes?
well, we should, or put it in LCD. If we're gonna do it, but that existing thing is silly.
It is still.
So if we're gonna tackle this, we should take that out.
But generally, if you have a continuing care
Care.
facility, it's gonna be nonprofit. Most of them are, like Brookfield Village is a nonprofit. It's sort of silly to differentiate.
But right now, charitable, we don't have a definition for charitable, whatever this thing is that's in here. Commercial. Charitable or philanthropic.
Use hospital,
Hospital,
nursing care.
nursing homes, facility, or sanitary.
Number 6.
We have that everywhere.
Yeah,
So we're like, to me. That should come out. The whole point is to modernize it, yes, so I think we should. I think that should come out because it's not defined. I'm not gonna put a hospital, I mean,
Right.
yeah,
of course,
We don't know what
maybe,
the
maybe a
sanit-
Dover, I don't know,
so I think,
maybe a
do people agree that we should take out our existing
Number 6.
number 6?
Yes.
Community facilities, charitable or philanthropic use, hospitals, nursing
Sure.
care facilities, sanitarium by planning board, because our point here is to tidy this up, right? And that says,
Yeah, I think it's good.
yeah,
Well, and it's tidy it up within the boundaries of what we're
well,
focused
trying to
on
do,
at the
right.
moment.
So
Because there are plenty of places.
delete.
Well, let's get this done and then we
Yeah.
can worry.
Right.
It's a challenge.
So with taking it out, though, I'm just, are we not leaving ourselves open to someone coming up and saying, I want to build a hospital? And it's not, there's nothing in here, I mean. No,
No,
Okay.
I don't think so.
okay,
I don't think we're
Okay.
in danger of a hospital.
okay.
Oh, my
And I don't think
God.
anybody's building sanatoriums
Okay.
anyway, I don't know.
Yeah, the whole license-
Bylaw is if it's not listed as a permitted use, then it's, or a special permit use, then it's prohibited, so.
Except if it's required by state statute.
Well,
To-
then it doesn't matter what the
Okay, all
bylaw
right,
says.
doesn't matter anyway.
We got a hospital in District D, I mean, that makes no sense.
No, I know. Right,
Kind of, my little.
yeah,
Okay, so we're gonna delete table B. Section B, .6 to just tidy that up.
Okay,
And I think also what that does is it says, this is what our existing zoning is. It doesn't make any sense. We're
Right.
improving it.
right.
It helps our case, right?
Yeah, that's good.
It helps the,
Yeah.
the thing, like, this is a vestige of the past.
Right.
Yes.
It's nothing about limiting size is that either.
No,
So can we set a date for the communications group?
yes.
Like Friday at 10? Those who want to participate.
We have to post it, so anytime,
Yeah.
we can do it anytime from Thursday morning on.
Can do Thursday, Friday, I have something at 11. There you go.
Thursday morning.
After.
Thursday afternoon works for me. I don't think, I mean, it's just, it doesn't have to be everybody, just enough people to get some frequently asked questions and. Yeah, the problem of writing things and. Or you said Friday?
Friday. What is
Um,
Friday?
Thursday or Fridays.
And also Friday morning or Friday afternoon.
More Friday, the afternoon's not so good for me after 2. But Friday otherwise is okay, as is Thursday.
Thursday.
Thursday or Friday.
I
this
can
works
do
for me.
either.
You can't.
I can, I'm just
He's got-
stressing out.
Then pick
That's-
Thursday.
Yes. Chris, I think you're essential.
Yeah, I'll be there. I
Which is better for you,
can-
Thursday?
Yeah, That is fine. Thursday.
you
or
do Thursday?
Friday.
There's Thursday afternoon, sometimes it may not be great for you, but,
Probably not. for me.
okay. But sometimes Peter can. Can we go for Thursday afternoon, then it gives us a little more time?
Can we do 3 o'clock?
Sure.
Okay, working group.
And it's 3. Right?
Yeah, we'll be probably down there,
Yeah.
Wherever I can find a room.
okay.
Okay,
Could be
Here,
Friday.
there,
Side line.
across the street.
Seaside one sounds,
Yeah.
okay, great.
Yep.
And, maybe you and I can take a quick stab at some FAQs between now and then.
Sure.
All right. Excellent. Anything else on senior housing? We didn't resolve right now this number of units, but we flagged it.
Yeah, I am leaning for just doing the
The density.
density.
Yeah, I am too.
Because then you don't have a number out there that everybody's fixing. And if people think about 2 acres, well, that's 20 units, that's not terrible.
Okay. Okay. General bylaw curb cuts. Our least favorite topic. Just to remind people how we got here. Planning board used to review all curb cuts. We pushed it to the DPW by moving it to the general bylaws. We created standards for one access per lot. And no process whatsoever for changing that, even if there was all kinds of good reasons for a loop driveway or other things. So the proposal here is to have regulations that we, I believe, have drafted, and that the DPW reviews these, and then if it is more than one driveway entrance, say residential should use one area unless otherwise allowed. And I think we need to have is there a process here for coming to the planning board if there's a,
Yeah,
so
Special
criteria or require a special permit by the planning board. So it gives us an out when the when it's not a straightforward. So this needs to be framed as an article. It would, I think, delete existing section 446 and replace it with this.
I will redraft this as an article, and this has not been reviewed by council, and I will send it to her.
So the next step is send it to council.
is this something a planning board is pushing, or is it?
Well, it became an issue because what happens is when the public, certain members of the public see 2 entrances, they complain.
Yeah, or something a little unusual, or something that wasn't there before. And
Right.
like, you may not hear about it, but they sometimes complain to public
No,
works.
I'm suggesting, are we the ones to be?
Pushing this
promoting
forward.
Or would it be DPW?
No, it's sort of a combination of DPW. It's a select board issue because it's general bylaw,
Yeah,
but it's a general bylaw select board issue of our making.
I just don't want them to think of this as a zoning, another.
know.
zoning-
No.
Yeah.
But I think this is a procedural issue. I don't think this is a big deal. It's just fixing the mess
Yeah,
we
just don't-
made.
I don't want to count against us.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll tell them that.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
problem, it's really, we'll get Chuck to
Yeah.
say that this is, it's a bit of our fault because we made the general bylaw that's a problem. We suggested that.
Mm.
So I think we have to take a little responsibility for it. And it's kind of died down a little bit, but for a while, every time there was a second driveway where it was not exactly 90 degrees, there was a lot of time spent at town hall dealing with it.
Okay,
So unnecessarily, it seemed.
It would be better if DPW advanced it, though, and we
Yeah, that's the-
speak in support.
Yeah, exactly. They should be reviewing these, not us.
yeah,
I mean, we used to go to every site and do a site walk for every driveway.
and you have to post them.
Had to post them as meetings and yada, yada, yada. Take minutes. Yeah, so we changed it. We didn't do. It's very prescriptive. The existing one in the bylaws is extreme. So you're gonna send that to council. We'll talk about it with the. Oops, I've lost any comments from the public on either the senior housing or driveway curb cut bylaw? Okay.
There's one more.
Yeah.
About the
ADUs.
ADU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you, I don't
I will get into it.
Oh, okay.
It's page 2.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so recall that, oops, still got, ends up here. Independent housing. Sorry, so, Sarah Melish had asked us to think about, allowing large ADUs in D1 and D2.
And what you're doing here is basically giving Sarah jurisdiction or the ZBA jurisdiction over those.
Right. My personal feeling on this is that the ADU bylaw has not been out there for very long.
Right.
And our discussion earlier today about the 2 lots, I think warrants a little more thought. So maybe we ask Sarah if she wants to put it forward, the ZBA, but, that's probably not the best, that we don't want to do that.
No.
That's not a good idea.
Well, does
we-
this solve the problem that's in front of Sarah with the thing on Norwood with the,
No, it's been solved.
it's been solved?
Well,
Sort of.
They've come up with a
They
solution.
put the kitchen in.
Yeah, they've come up with a solution.
That's a different problem,
Right.
which is they've come up with the idea of an accessory building that is not officially a residence because it's not gonna have a full kitchen. Which is the problem, which is a larger problem, in my opinion, across the board, because there's this workaround. But we're not gonna fix that between now and February 23rd. But to me, that's a big problem. We've got those all over the place, And they're kind of an unregulated, I don't know.
I'm not sure how you regulate them.
Well, they're not following the 80, I don't know.
In terms of this,
This.
though, I feel like we were pretty thoughtful in figuring out where they should go and they should not go.
Yeah.
And I mean, I love them, that family, Matranos, and I am sorry they've had to come up with this workaround. But I kind of agree with Sarah that hasn't even been a year since we have had this bylaw out there. So do
Well-
we need a fix, I guess? I don't
Do
know.
we need a fence? Yeah. The other thing is, and I didn't read it yet, but Gary took us to task, I guess, on the ADU bylaw. I mean, is this opening up Pandora's box a little bit? On ADUs in general.
It would do that just by
Yeah.
introducing
What
it
do you
into the
mean?
discussion.
Well, it brings up the issue that the Attorney General struck down some of our provisions in the small
Mhm.
one. And
But we discussed that when
I know.
we submitted it. It
I know.
wasn't,
I just-
it was a big
ADUs have
surprise.
always been a lightning rod.
Mhm.
I think we should take it to when we talk to the select board, say, this one's only been out there for a year. We got feedback from the ZBA. We're kind of ambivalent on it, I think is the right word.
Well, the language to do it.
Right.
Right, there wasn't the reason to do it, I mean, it's like the reason that it was prohibited is because in the D districts, 2 families
They're allowed.
Right.
allowed. But then there's some particular details
The
about what.
detail we were just about to strike, which is you can't have 2 buildings for residential, you have to have them connected. So I think as of tonight, I have a little bit different, like, why did what is that? And is that the problem that we should be solving rather than
Than the
this?
ADU.
Yeah, where did that come from?
Yeah. So that,
Because if that was solved, then the
And
Matronas would not
just have
have
a
the problem.
2-family,
Right.
They just have it.
right? So they couldn't have a 2-family because they didn't want to connect them for whatever reason,
Right,
logistically or
They had some good reasons. I
Yeah, I
can't
don't
remember
remember.
what
Yeah.
they were, but
Yeah, and a large ADU. They could have also done a small ADU by right. They wanted it larger than that,
Yeah,
so,
so we're back to that clause again,
yeah.
the 4.1.1.
Principal building.
Yeah,
Do other
Well,
towns-
but the
no
ADU.
dwelling
would a
shall be
principal
erected
building,
except
too,
your
so-
favorite section.
But they wouldn't
But then-
even have to build an ADU, and that
If that,
4 whatever wasn't there, they could just.
Just do it
build
for family.
Yeah,
Well, that's what council point.
yeah,
Right.
So that's why she cautioned about striking the entire thing.
I mean, in terms of building scale. Too small, I mean, I'm thinking of around the corner of Brook Street and School Street. What if that was too? If it was too
Separate,
too
too small.
separate, smaller houses. The scale might feel different.
Not so big.
Mhm. But we've said you have to have them contiguous, joined. You have to have a big building. Which kind of may not make sense. So.
Yeah.
I think waiting on this one, now that we're sort of thinking this through, is worthy of thinking it through with the detached. I'll talk to Sarah about it as the next step again. Maybe we should talk to the ZBA, not just Sarah, but.
Well, I suppose, I mean, what we discussed tonight was,
Deleting that section.
well, deleting the section, but instead of deleting it, putting except in the, the two new districts, well, you could make it except in the two new districts and the D districts. And that would solve that problem.
I just don't think we can I don't want to do that as part of the downtown because it has implications across the entire town. I don't want to just sneak it into the downtown. That's my concern is on a process level.
Well-
It's a pretty big change, whether it's people know it's a big change or not.
No,
Yeah, I see what you're.
all I'm saying is that if you leave it in place and make the exception to the three districts,
I know, but then
and then it's not allowed anyplace else.
it certainly procedurally could be done that way.
Mhm.
But the issue I'm wrestling with is the D district is not anything to do with downtown. And
I
that
see.
article is,
I see.
its communications and so forth is about.
Yeah,
the
so it
downtown.
gets confused.
Right, and it's a little bit.
Well, that's an argument for doing it as an ADU then, at least for the moment.
Or doing it as a separate thing with. I don't know, I wanna think, I'll talk to Sarah at least about that, okay, as a next step. Okay. We have any other zoning things? No, wow, okay, good job, everybody. Any other matter, I'm not gonna do liaisons, it's too late. Any other matter, unless somebody has any particular update. Correspondence, we did have a couple things from other towns, that's why, it is important we look at those. Thank you, Kendall, for getting them to us. I haven't had any, I don't think I had any other emails from people. Since I did check my email. Okay, we have a bunch of minutes. You have a chance to look at them.
yes.
Okay, so I'll take first a motion I made a couple of edits, I hope they got in there.
Are these done by AI, by the way?
And some of them are.
One.
There's a
was
lot.
Because was misspelled, I tried to fix it. It was
She
not
does
letting me
review
fix
them.
it.
Yeah, there was just a couple places where. Few things, hopefully my edits got in.
There,
So I'll take September 8th, I guess the only changes I had were, addition of last names on the special.
Yeah, I noticed that,
Yeah, John Harden,
yeah.
should be, is,
September 8th.
September 8th. First of all, so any
yeah,
changes on
I got
September
it.
8th? Okay. How about, maybe try to take them as a batch, November 10th. I guess I'll take a motion for September 8th.
Yeah, we should do it.
Let's do one at a time.
I move to approve the minutes of September 8th.
Okay,
The second, it.
all, any changes? Any, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, November 10th,
I move that be approved.
okay,
Second,
all in favor? Okay. November, I did look at those, November 24th. There's one that said that, Brian was the chair.
yeah, that one.
That's not that one.
That's not that
They
one.
go everything.
What happens?
Fire the chair here
Excellent.
too.
Soon.
Jeez.
I move to approve the minutes
Uh,
of November 24th.
Excellent, thank you. Any,
Second.
second, all in favor?
I was absent.
Okay. Who was absent? You were?
I was absent.
Absent.
But it-
Brian,
For one of
and
those, but I don't.
That would be-
Not on here, all right.
Brian is abstaining. Okay, December 1st, I didn't see in here, but
It's there.
it's there?
Yeah,
Oh, it's got a different communication session. Sorry,
December
It was different.
4th or first?
first. I wasn't
This is
at
the
that.
communications things. I'll take a motion to approve.
Removed.
Okay,
I have to abstain from that when I wasn't there.
okay,
There
all
was
in,
one when I wasn't there, but I don't recall.
no, that's, that, we have a couple of working sessions that didn't get minutes, so. Brian and Sue were not there, so I'll take a motion from Chris, and Gordon seconds it, I think. It's very simple.
Hello, Chris.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. They're quite, she's done a great job
Oh,
on it.
yeah, the 4th.
The 4th, that's the one I think that had the,
Yeah, you get, the changes are in there.
no, that's the one that needed John Harden's name.
Yeah, I
in it.
think it's in there.
Did I put it in?
Ian,
Search. Yes, I made some changes to that one and they did get captured.
Good.
Dave McKenna's name and John Harden. Those are the changes. So I'll take a motion for December, 4th.
move to approve.
I'll second.
So moved. A second.
That's-
All in favor?
Yes.
You can vote, yes. Okay, and then, December 8th,
Oh, these are the ones.
these are the
where-
ones that she has the wrong.
Yeah, just, there are a couple things and then that sentence on the second page needs a little.
Oh, I got the wrong one. December 8th. Okay, I made a couple changes there and just getting the right people.
And I tried to fix your change, because it was because was misspelled and it wouldn't let me.
Okay, right. So how was,
So I made a note and
okay, I see your notes. Take out do, fix the spelling of the.
Peter Morton should be there, not Peter Gordon.
oh, I missed that.
No, he-
Good,
That was-
good eye.
There.
Peter
Peter and Gordon.
Morton. Okay, got it. Okay, with the amendments, December, I'll take a motion to approve, December 8th, and Gordon was not there. So,
So moved.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
Gordon abstains. Okay, excellent. Whew. Okay, so we will meet again in 2 weeks. If you can make it on Thursday at 3. Between now and then, we are gonna get a final version of the downtown zoning, which we are all gonna scour
Memorize.
and memorize.
So Martha, you
And we
be
are gonna-
sending out the edited version
Yes.
for us to review?
And the map and the edited version are gonna go on the website. Okay,
Great.
I will take a motion to adjourn. Chris,
So moved.
Second,
That was the.
all in favor? Aye. Thank you, everybody.
thank you, Sarah. That's a lot.
That was,
Yeah.
that was good.